All right, ask and you shall receive. You wanted more technical videos? Well, this is going to probably be a 2-hour technical video where we're building something. We're going to build an application that has image analysis and image generation capabilities. It's going to enable us to interact with different cloud SDKs, in this case, Azure and Azure OpenAI or OpenAI, depending which one you have access to. We're going to be using SDKs, the CLI primarily to work with these things. There's not going to be a lot of going to the portal. I think I do it once. But in reality, in production, you're going to be working with the cloud via code, whether that be a command, a terminal, a CLI, or from some kind of programming language. That's much more efficient than clicking around the code. So in this project, that's primarily how we're going to be interacting with the cloud services. Now, step one for you is to go to the link in the description. I will show you it here on the screen as well. And that's going to have the guidelines and checkpoints for you to implement this project on your own. If you want to, I actually recommend you go and do that. The project itself outlines you to use React and JavaScript. And my project implementation, so this version, is .NET. In my opinion, if you can, do both. That way you get exposure to how you can use different languages in the cloud, which I think is an awesome thing for you to get experience in and be able to speak to in interviews and things like that. But first step, go check out that link. For my implementation, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need VS Code. You're going to need the Docker installed, and you're going to need dev containers extension inside of your VS Code installed. I also use Copilot a lot. If you have access to Copilot, go ahead and install that extension as well in your VS Code. If you don't, you can try sign up for it. It's a 30-day trial. Why not give it a try? You're going to see how I leverage it actually in my day-to-day kind of stuff. And it's just a tool that's here to stick. AI assistants are here to stay, so why not try to embrace them sooner rather than later? Okay, and then finally, you're going to need an Azure account, and you're going to need either access to Azure OpenAI or you're going to need an OpenAI account. So whichever one you have, make sure you have access to that. All right, and once, the last thing I want to mention here is we're not aiming for best practices in terms of programming or software engineering. In a later video, we're going to refactor this code and we're going to build a backend API. And I'm going to leave it up to people who view this, who go to the end of the video to drop a comment and tell me you want to either implement this in serverless functions or in containers. Let me know which one you want to do. And yeah, the goal for today's video is to just build something that enables us to get functionality from these SDKs, from these cloud SDKs. It's not going to look the best, it's not going to perform the absolute best, but that doesn't matter because later on we can refactor and learn some new things along those ways, all right? All right, so let's dive right into setting up our development environment.
All right, so this is where I'm going to start from Unit 4, all the prereqs and stuff like that. Highly recommend you go through and as you build your project on your own. But I already have an idea, and I'm actually going to remix this project a little bit and not use JavaScript. So what we're going to do is use the GitHub CLI, GitHub repo, and we're going to create one. And we're going to call this made by GPS, which is my username. And we're going to call it, what is this thing called? It's called a challenge project. So we're going to call this cloud-AI challenge 1. There, perfect. Oh, I forgot. I have to add dash private. No, we're going to do public. Okay, so now I'm going to do GitHub repo clone. And oh my goodness, I already forgot the name of it. What did we call it? Oh, okay. I'm just going to copy this name here. I'm just going to copy this here. Oh, I can just do GitHub repo clone here. I probably don't need this public. Boom. And then, oh, no, I cloned it into the wrong place. Can I move cloud to document? CD documents. Perfect. Now we're going to do cloud, CD to cloud, AI challenge 1. We're going to open that up. All right, cool. I typically like working inside, and this is empty, right? You see there's nothing here. I typically like working inside of dev containers. And even though I do probably have .NET installed locally, yeah, I do. I still usually like working inside of dev containers. So what we're going to do is I have Docker loaded up here. And you can see I have no containers running. You see there's nothing running here, right? No containers are running. So I'm gonna just kind of keep this here. And what we're gonna do is Control-Shift-P. There's this extension, actually, let me show you dev containers. There's this extension called dev containers. And what it does is you open up your project inside of a container, and then within VS Code, you're developing inside of the container instead of locally, which brings a lot of benefits. You can imagine you can code and work inside of the same environment that you're going to deploy to. You can kind of share that environment with others. There's a bunch of things, right? So I'm going to do Control-Shift-P and then add dev container configuration file. And then I'm just going to select C# because that's what we're going to be working with. And I'm going to select A. Also, I want can I install the Azure CLI? Yes, I can install the Azure CLI here. Perfect. We're going to OK, and we're going to keep defaults. And then it's going to go ahead and install everything we need to. Actually, it's going to create our dev container.json file. So we see now here, we have, I probably have to shift my face this way. Sorry. Oh, wait, hold on. Right. There we go. Okay. So you see now this was empty before, but now we have a dev container file. And then this is essentially the spec or the configuration file that tells, this is the type of container we want to create for this environment. And all it's really telling us right now is like, I want you to create an image, a Docker container based off the .NET 8 image, bookworm variant, and also install the Azure CLI as a feature. Features are things that you can install. And you had a little pop-up there at the bottom, and we could just hit reopen in container. And pay attention to this bottom left too. It was just kind of like it was blank, that icon there. And now it's going to tell us that we are working inside of a container. I love containers. Love working inside of containers. Working inside of a container is your first step to understanding how you deploy the containers, the importance of containers, and instead of having to deploy stuff into your cloud and things like that in order to get experience. I think this is a great way of getting experience with containers anyway. So, all right, cool. Now we're going to wait for this to load. The first time takes a little bit, but then every time you open it up, it's a lot quicker. The initial setup takes a few minutes. We can open up Docker once again, and where'd we go? And as it loads up, we should start to see, we're going to select that. We should start to see it spin up here in a little bit. So anyway, while that loads, we can take a look at our instructions, and we're going to start by building the UI. So we're going to build this UI here. I'm not a front-end developer at all, so this is not going to look good whatsoever. but I'm going to use Copilot to kind of help me build something that looks kind of decent. And yeah, so our first step is to create that front end. And then we can create everything else that we need for this. Where's the diagram? I thought the architecture diagram was around here somewhere for this diagram. But first we got to create I'm not going to use static web apps. I'm going to use just a plain Blazor project and then deploy it probably to app service. But the deployment is probably going to be a different video. We'll go to 4 again. No, we're going to 4. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so now we see a container popped up here. Because it's configured for us, as you can see it here, a container. You see this random name here, and you can see it's running from VS Code and the name of the project, right? So now you see also at the bottom left we have dev container. See, we are working inside of our dev container. In this case, it's called C#.NET, and if we expand our folder, we can see that the name is pulling from here. And now if I do Control-Shift, I will have .NET installed here for me. And I'll also have the AZ CLI installed here for me. You can see here. So that's available for me as well. Awesome. So first thing I'm going to do is create a new .NET new Blazor project. The way .NET works is I'm going to hit that first. So it runs and it creates a project for us. And you can see it's populating folders on the left side. But with .NET, you can create so many things, actually. So if I do .NET new list, it's going to give us a list of the project types that we can create. You see we have API controller. We have like XUnit test projects. You have a class, Blazor web app, WebAssembly, standalone app, ASP.NET. There's so many types of projects you can create here. So yeah, and again, CLI skills. Like I've been primarily working inside of the terminal. And VS Code haven't had to move around too much because everything has a CLI, right? We created a GitHub repo. Did I have to go to github.com? No, right? Okay, cool. So we have our project. And I guess the first good step would be to sort of just open up our components. I'm trying not to get into the weeds of how things work, but what I'm going to do here is just do clear .NET. Wait, what is it saying? Requires assets to build and debugger missing from add them. Oh, this is going to create a VS Code folder for us. So you see right here, we have no VS Code folder. And then we're going to hit yes. And it created this VS Code folder, which has a launch.json and task.json. And this is essentially so we can, when we want to debug, it knows what to do. So, but we're not going to use that right now. All right. So anyway, I'm going to do .NET build and see if we get any errors. And it does say we have some problems here. I don't know what it is. Oh, we should probably install some extensions first. Okay, cool. So anyway, extensions, customize your experience in VS Code. And when you're working with .NET, obviously right here is already telling us a couple of ones. Oh, this one's already, C#'s already installed. We probably need, Copilot. Copilot, I use this all the time now. Copilot, we're going to install it here. When you install Copilot, it also installs chat for you. And then if you click on this little gear and add it to the dev container, it adds it to your dev container configuration. Let me show you what that means here. Dev container. So you see here in customization right here, this had nothing before. I should have showed you this before. But now it says GitHub Copilot extensions. But if I go to another extension and add like the C# one, for example, the dev kit or the dev kit, we can add that, which adds additional C# functionality to VS Code. It's relatively new. I haven't used it too much, so we'll give it a try here. And then you click on this little gear and you hit add to dev container. Now, if we go to our dev container.json file again, you'll see that it's been added here as well. So next time you go and you rebuild, it's going to make sure it creates the environment with everything that you've specified in here, which I think is pretty neat. But I'm not going to rebuild it now because these tools are already installed. But I do need to restart this language server just because I installed the dev kit, I think. So that's probably why it's giving us this issue here. .NET build. We can close this. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why this is giving me an issue here. No idea. But anyway.
All right, cool. So from there, you can get a feel for how using dev containers and containerizing your development environment can be like a big plus. So now if I wanted to start a new project in Python, I can just whip up another project, dev container in there, and everything that I need my project for it to work and run is going to live inside of my project. I don't have to install anything locally. Now we're going to dive into building our UI. Again, we're not web developers, we're not front-end developers, we're not trying to make the best looking website. We just want to make something that works and enables the functionality. So let's go and figure out what that looks like.
What we can do is .NET run, and this should build our application and we should be able to see it somewhere. We can click open browser. And kind of like when you're running a Python app, you run Python in the name. For .NET, it's .NET run. And we see we have this really basic app, has a little counter, pulling some information from an API. And we're going to start working with this template here. So the way Blazor works, if you're familiar with React, it works with components. You have components. So we just saw, hold on. So actually we're going to run .NET watch, which will accept all our changes as we go. So what is important here is we're going to open this up and we're going to make this a little smaller so we can kind of look a little side-by-side type action. And open this on the other side. Okay, cool. So we'll start. We have components here. We're going to go to the pages icon on this left side and we're going to hit home. And home is this home component here. So if I added hello right here, and then it should rebuild for me. And then we should see a text here that says hello for us. Why didn't it? Oh, there it is right here. See? So this is our home component. If we go to our counter component, we click here, we go to the counter, we see it says page counter, and then it has the name here, and then it has the counter, current count, and a variable here, and has a button, which is this button here. Current count is the count. I can add some more text there, and you see it updated for us, and that's functionality. And there's another page here. Apparently, it's called weather. If we go to weather.razor, we see the functionality there. So you kind of get an idea of how that's starting to put together. Again, this is not a Blazor or a .NET video, but this is the tools that I choose to work with. So I'm going to try to give you an overview. I love .NET. It's really capable. And if you're looking for a new language and you're not decided on anything, why not give .NET a try? It's quite capable. So anyway, we're going to start to build this thingy here, right? So it's asking us to have a header that says computer vision, a little text that says insert URL or type prompt, and a little field so people can type something in, and then 2 buttons, right? So I'm going to just build this in my home component. And there's this whole like theory about like what exactly should be a component, how modular should you make it, but we're not going to dive into this because it's not a front end course. So this first thing should just say computer vision, right? Computer vision, perfect. And then it asks us to have insert URL or type prompt. So that could probably just be like a paragraph, right? Insert insert URL or prompt, right? That's what it is. Insert URL or type prompt, type prompt. Right, so that's a little text there. And then we need a text field or text area. I don't know what they call it in Blazor. It's probably like text area. You see Copilot's already trying to figure out some stuff for me. And we can actually, I'm just going to accept what it says here. We're going to remove the name input doesn't exist. Okay, cool. So we're getting errors, but this code essentially does work for me. So the error is giving us, it says input doesn't exist, and it's because we're using this bind. And bind essentially tells this component, this whole page is a component, but this thing is a component as well. Your Blazor project is essentially components made with more components, made with more components type thing, okay? Binding essentially saying like, okay, the value that people type in here, save that value to a variable called input. So in order to get rid of this, we have to create the actual value, right? And you see Copilot is already trying to auto-complete this for me. And it's created this this variable for me. It knew that I'm expecting this input, and it's created it for me here. So what I'm actually going to rename them. So I'm gonna call this URL or prompt because we're expecting a URL or a prompt, and then we're gonna put that there. And then we have to restart this. I'm just gonna hit A. We're gonna do that there. I love Copilot. I use it with everything. Like the amount of boilerplate stuff it gets rid of or accomplishes for me, I think is pretty cool. Definitely saves me time. I don't know why this stopped. Waiting for file to change. Let's get rid of, let's make it smaller maybe. 1 row, 50 columns, 10 columns. How about that? It should restart. The name input doesn't exist. Yeah, it doesn't exist. I changed it. URL. All right, we're going to run it again then. Okay, done it. Watch. Oh, my bad. I forgot to change the name here. Okay, cool. So that should work. All right. So we can just refresh this and we see a little text area, but that's not wide enough. I think 50 was probably a good idea in the first place. So that should refresh, and then we have this little here. Could probably have a placeholder. Can we add a placeholder? Placeholder and URL or prompts, right? This should be the little gray text here. This enter URL to analyze or textual prompt to generate an image. Okay. Can we copy that? No. Enter URL. I'm just going to put URL or prompt. URL, actually, enter analyze or prompt text to generate image. All right, cool. Then what we need are 2 buttons. So we're just going to do button, and look at that. It's already creating for me here a button that says when the button is clicked, run this function here, and the text of the button is analyze image. I guess it's basing this off of the fact that I put this in here, which is pretty cool. but that's Copilot for you. Control Shift, Control P, and then we're just going to put this one, say generate image. Cool. So this is probably going to give us a couple of issues because we don't have these created. So for now, I'm just going to create some, I don't need this here. Say void analyze image, like just some dummy code here. And the same thing for void generate image. Awesome, cool. So now we're just going to restart this. And again, what I'm saying here is, what's the issue here? Navigation. Oh, that's not. Let's delete this line here. Okay. So again, just to recap, we have 2 buttons now. And when the buttons are clicked, when the analyze button is clicked, it's going to execute the code that's inside of the analyze image function we have here. And then when the generate image button is clicked, we're going to go ahead and execute the code that's in generate image, right? This doesn't look, there we go. That looks a little better, right? So this kind of looks like our URL here, our little UI here. And I think we can consider this this part of our challenge done, the UI part.
Okay, now it's finally time to get hands-on with some cloud things. Now we're going to implement the image analysis functionality. We're going to use the CLI to create a couple of Azure services, and we are going to use the SDKs to implement the functionality. So let's dive right into that. Oh, we're also going to use a lot of documentation, which is realistic. That's how you will work in a job. You're going to use documentation a lot. So as much exposure you can get in your projects and the things that you're doing on your own time with documentation, the better. All right, so let's dive into that.
Cool. So now step 5 is add image. Here we go. So add image analysis capabilities to your React application. So we got to create a new Azure AI service resource in your subscription using the computer vision service. You can leverage the Azure portal or use the Azure CLI. And then we need to add the code to call the Azure AI Vision Service Image Analysis 4.0 API. Add and analyze image. Okay, so all right. So essentially, we need to be able to provide a URL and then click analyze, and then it will analyze the image for us. I guess display the image, and looks like they have an image that we can use here. Oh, so cute. Okay, cool. So we can figure this out. Okay. So step 1 is create the resources that we need. And for this, I'm just going to open up a new terminal for us. And I think I have to probably log in to the Azure CLI because we're going to create everything in the Azure CLI. So we're going to do AZ login, and then we're going to use device code. And I'm going to copy this code here. And then open this up here, and then drag this over here, paste the code in. It gives you a code that you paste in, and then you log into the account that you want to log into. And it's going to ask you again if you want to authenticate and stuff like that, and then that should work there. So now we are logged in. I can create a resource group. We're going to create a Azure resource group, AZ group. We're going to say the group, the name is going to be cloud-AI-challenge1-resource group, and then location is going to be East US. AZ group create. I think that's what we got to do there. Cool. All right, resource group created, and now we need to create a computer vision thingy account. Account probably. We're gonna open this. Let's see what the documentation say. We're gonna use C#. We're gonna switch to C#. It says the guidance assumes you have successfully followed the steps mentioned in the quick start page. This means you have created a computer vision resource and obtained a key and endpoint URL. Okay. You have the appropriate SDK package installed, and you have a running quick start application. I don't have a running quick start application. Let's click on that, I guess. says an Azure Visual Studio.net, create a vision resource, create a Microsoft Cognitive. Okay, so create a vision resource. So I'm gonna ask Copilot, what is the Azure CLI to create a vision resource? Let's see if it tells us the correct CLI command. Coolio, so I can let's full screen this for a little bit. So I'm gonna do is set export resource group to be the name of this resource group, so I can just plug it in when I need to. Just set some environment variables there. And I want free tier. Does it have a free tier? Does it have a free tier? If not, I guess I could use this one. What is the SKU? Let's see. It's probably like F0. What? Oh, F0. See, that's what I knew. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do is just copy this here and then paste it in here, but we're gonna make some edits here. So the resource group name is the now environment variable resource group. The location is East US. And then we're going to change the SKU to be FO. And then we're going to call the vision thingy name to be the account, I guess. We're going to call it cloud-AI challenge vision. I guess that could work. And then that should work, right? Boom. Oh no, I set the RG variable incorrectly. Echo RG Okay, cool. Now let's run that last one once more. Boom. All right, so operation only one free account is allowed. I have already free an account. Per account type, computer vision. Interesting. Can I AZ cognitive services account list dash output table? Oh, okay. I probably have one already. Oh, yes. I have this one. So I can use this one? I guess I could use this one. Okay. So I already have one. So cool. So what I'm going to say is how can I get my endpoint and API key with the Azure CLI for my computer vision service? All right, so this is supposedly going to work to get our endpoint, because we're going to need these as well. Say resource group, resource name. I think it was just vision GPS, query endpoint output TSV. It's called vision. Oh, it's in vision. Oh, it's not. Okay, resource group equals vision dash resource group. Okay. See, aren't we glad that we're working through this together? Okay. So now what we're going to do is do that. Show name vision. It's not showing anything. So let's just run this here, and then we're going to grep the endpoint, because maybe the query is wrong. There we go. Here it is. It's our endpoint. All right, cool. So now we're going to say end vision endpoint. Actually, just do capitals. Vision endpoint equals, and we'll paste that in there. Okay, so now I need my key. And then apparently the key works with this command as well. Query key one. I don't know, maybe that query will work, so we'll save it there. The -- query flag enables you to filter through the output that it gives you, but sometimes the queries are not right. because the output could have changed, you know, for a bunch of reasons. Vision, GPS. Oh, it did give me it. Okay, cool. So I can just do vision key is going to equal the value that it gives me. I'm going to delete everything. I'm not too worried about people having my keys and my endpoints because everything is going to get deleted after this video. So not too worried about it. Okay, cool. So now we have our vision key and our thingy in our environment variables. So we can continue. We've created that. Once you have your Azure subscription, create a vision resource. We created that. We have that CLI. Okay, we have that done a build. We need to install this package now. All right, so install this package. And cool. So if we go to our Explorer or our folders, and then we click on the .cs proj, it's added our package here for us. Cool. Which is these Azure AI Vision Image Analysis. We're working with an SDK, software development kit, which platforms create essentially these kits for you to work with different languages with their tools. Okay, so back to the instructions. Environment variables are done. And we can analyze an image using this code, but that's a lot of... Let me look at this. Let's full screen this documentation. You can also ask, like, what I like here, I'm going to show you this pretty cool thing. Okay. Based off this page, how can I analyze an image from a URL? Let's see if it confirm. Let's see if it gives us the answer based off just the page documentation. To analyze an image from a URL using the REST API or client SDK, you need to have a fun. But I select C#, my friend. Are you able to see that I selected C#? Maybe not. So anyway, we need to be using these packages while we let that complete there. So we just add those to the top. Oh, and Blazor, we need to add the @ symbol at the beginning. Perfect. We're gonna move that over, just have a little more space. So these are packages we're using. Back here, did it provide us anything? No, it's just stop responding. Probably because we have a couple of options here and it's getting confused. But anyway, we're gonna go back here. We're gonna scroll a little smaller here. And we are going to analyze image bar. We have analyze. I guess we can just kind of copy all of this. And paste it in and see if it works. Yeah, that's kind of how I figure stuff out. I just paste code in and see if it works, and we'll go from there. Did I export this? Oh no, I don't think I exported these. Hold on. Anyway, we're gonna just paste this into here, and we're probably gonna get a lot of errors. Format document, but let's see what happens here. So we need to make sure we set vision endpoint and vision key as the environment variables, which I have. Let me stop this one, because this terminal has the variables. And then using var image source, it has a URL. It has I guess there's a image here. Yes, it has an image here, but I want to use this URL here. So we're just going to paste this URL here. And the goal is to just get it to work for now. That's kind of it. So I want the JSON returned. Like, where does the JSON go? Is there anything here that says JSON? No. Let me see. Back here. Output. Okay, so this is just... All right, hold on. So let's kind of just get the output first. Let's focus on that. Point to string. It's probably going to print the console. All right, let's see. Let's see what happens. I really don't know what's going to happen. .NET watch. So when I click the analyze image button, I'm assuming it's gonna try to connect and print a bunch of stuff to the console. So we're just going to move this to the side a little and click analyze image, and I clicked analyze image, but nothing happened unless I need to refresh this. All right, did that not work? Open a browser. Nothing is going on. Void analyze image. It's not doing anything. Vision endpoint, vision key, using like example. Oh, you know, I think I know what's going on. Okay. We probably have to call it inner render. What is it? Render mode? It's like render mode. Render mode. Interactive server. Certain interactivity doesn't work unless we set to the correct render mode. So let's go open this one here. And I think it's interactive server. Because in Blazor, you have different interactive modes. This is a new thing from .NET 8. So let's see what happens now. Oh, we should open up the console. Received a broken closed frame containing reserved status code. It's not doing anything. It should, though. Refresh. Let's close this. Go to F12 once more. Oh, there we go. We got an issue here. Key cannot be null. The key is null. Okay, so something's going on here. Vision key, echo, vision key. It's fine here. Oh, you know what? We probably have to export these. So, yeah, that's probably what's going on. Export, we're going to do that. Export enables all terminal sessions to view our, but it can find, let's see, hold on, export. Okay. Let's try that. Vision key. It's typed correctly. So .NET watch. Okay. Let's run it now. So I think it was two things. One, the button wasn't working in the first place because we had the wrong interactive mode going. And I think it also can't read our environment variables for whatever reason. So, okay, something happened there. I don't know if you're running Ubuntu. If you're running on Ubuntu 2204, make sure LSB v1. Oh my goodness. I swear there's always something with these configurations. All right, how do I install this? Let's ask. On Ubuntu 2204, how do I install there? You can install it by using the following commands. Why do I feel like this is not going to work? Can't find that package. Might have to result. We might have to result to good old. We might have to result to good old internet search for this. Okay. So install libssl 1.1 Ubuntu 2204. I think it was created. Yeah. Install. Oh, here's something that might be useful for us. Perf. This might work for us. Perfect. Config stuff, man. Config stuff. All right. I think that worked. So we're going to close this here. And we're going to run .NET Watch once more. And we are going to hope it works now. back here, and I'm just gonna close this, close this, close this, refresh this, hit analyze image, and it's working. Yeah, so as you can see, there's always something to debug. There's always something to kind of take. It's like, you know, you sit down and you try to create a project and you never really know what issues are gonna come up. So yeah, just being able to debug, being able to search, to ask for your questions. It's a skill set that you're going to develop as you go. And trust me, I was not the best at figuring out these things, but the more you work with them, the more you kind of have hints of like, oh, this is probably this kind of issue. Oh, this is probably how I can find a solution. So it gets easier. Yeah. Okay. So we got some info here. A puppy sitting in the grass. So it works. I could probably get this to display onto our actual component here. So we're going to close this here. So we can create like a little area down here. We can call this text area. Actually, let's call string caption. Perfect. We're just going to create a little thing. And then we're going to put here caption to display. Actually, let's put inside of a paragraph. And put this little caption in here. Right now the string is empty. So we can just set this. If caption is not null, we can just say here. Caption equals. Shouldn't you auto? It's not autocomplete for me. Equals results dot caption dot content, and that should display it up here when we hit analyze. A puppy sitting in the grass. So we now see it displaying here. Awesome. But that was just this quick start that we're doing here. Now we can go a step back, because remember we were looking at adding in image analysis, analyze API, and then we just did this quick start already. Because this here displays JSON, and we're not getting JSON, we're getting just text, right? It just says a puppy sitting in the grass. This puppy's so cute. All right. So back here, and we can kind of keep looking at the code here. Actually, first thing, because this is like a hard-coded URL, which I don't want. We want to get the value of this image here, right? So what we can do is, instead of having this URL, we'll actually go in here. We're going to just control X here, because this, remember this text area is binded to this URL or prompt, right? So we can just remove this and say URL or prompt, and then it's going to use that value. All right, so move this over here. Boom, move this over here, and then we can provide the URL there. Hit analyze image, and it doesn't help that this we'll just refresh this. It was already there. And analyze image, a puppy sitting in the grass. Let's find cute cat in a basket or something like that. And let's find an image. Here, is this an image? Yeah, here. So let's paste in this URL and analyze image, a group of kittens in a basket. Wow, cool. All right, but now we want JSON, right? So let's close all of these and go back here. Image URL, we already have this configured, right? We have our service options, we have our URL prompt here, image URL, so we don't need these. Analysis options, var analysis options. So this has all of these. We just have caption, text, object, dense, people, tags, gender neutral. Okay, so we may or may not need, let me look back here. Value, bonding, tags. I guess we do need this, so I'm just gonna copy this. We can customize this as we go. Okay, Control-Shift-P format. And then we're using standard model. I'm not gonna do a custom model. Specify language, crop, get the results. And then the rest is just using var result.analyzer.analyze, the same here. If result.region, okay, this is the same because of image height. And then everything else here is a little different. So we're gonna copy this through, oh my goodness, a lot. These error messages are pretty much the same. So we can just copy over here. Copy that. Go in here. Should format. There's probably like an error around here. It's not formatting nicely. Why is it not formatting? There's probably not a close run. We don't need this. That's a repeated line there. What is going on? Image height. Else. That's good. All right, hold on. Let's Control Z. All right, so there, that works. And then we're just gonna delete this entire if. Oh, where'd it go? This entire if here. And just paste in the if that they have. What are you? It's not. Why is it not formatting right? Not image analyze, cause caption. Do they have JSON? I wonder if this one has JSON. Oh, it does. So we can copy this to, actually, we're going to change this variable here. We're going to say JSON from analysis. And then this is at JSON from analysis, right? And then we are going to just paste in here. JSON from analysis equals this here. So let's try running it again. I don't know why the format stopped working. The formatter stopped working. All right, so let's go back to our page here. Refresh this here. All right, so okay, close this one here. So we need a photo of this cute little puppy. Hit analyze, and it should load JSON. Yes, beautiful. And that kind of looks like URL, caption result. Oh, what does it say here? Hold on. The resulting might change according to the view you've selected. Use the caption feature to get a single sentence description of the image. You can use this. It wants a single. So it did want caption. Oh my goodness. This is why you need to read the instructions first. But we're just going to get the caption. So where is caption here? Caption. Yeah, we don't need all of this. We're just going to work on the caption. Okay. So the original one that we had was fine. I'm just going to Control Z. No, I'm not going to Control Z. But we just want the caption. Erase this, erase this, erase this. Result text. No, going to the rhyme. Word dot content. Okay, we can delete that. Option and yeah, we just want the caption. So no, and then we can just say we can call this caption from analysis, caption from analysis, and then caption from analysis equals result.caption.content. All right, back to this. All right, so let's paste in our picture here, our image, I guess. And then a puppy sitting in the grass. Beautiful. Let's find another image. A rabbit in a hat. I don't know. Just something random. And let's hope this is an image. Yes, cool. Analyze image. A rabbit in a top hat. Perfect. It's working. All right. So first feature implemented, done. We are 47 minutes in. Okay. So now we got to go and do the rest of this project here. All right, let's go. The other half is to get the generate image thingy going. So I can provide a prompt here and it creates something. So if I type in a rabbit in a top hat, it has to essentially generate an image for me. Oh, but it wanted me to display the image too, right? All right, so how could we do that? Hold on, I forgot about that part. So yeah, because it wants us to show the image here. Okay, so I can probably do, I don't know, what's called like image component, image, source. Oh, look at that. That might be it. Can we do URL prompt? And the URL from prompt is just, can we have like a placeholder here? If I type in placeholder, will it HTTP GitHub user.azure samples .content service .landmark? Oh, I have no idea what that is. It's nothing. Placeholder images. Placeholder image. Let's see if I do like place kitten.com placeholder. Placehold it. Maybe that'll work. It works. Nice. Okay, cool. So, all right. So no, but, oh, no, this won't work. I just want it to be the placeholder of this URL prompt. Let's see. Let me think about this. URL or prompt. Be a placeholder of that. I guess we can have another variable. String image URL equals, and we'll copy this. This here. Oop, boom, erase one of those. Erase one of those. And this will just keep it empty. And the image URL is going to be this here. So string. There, cool. And then we just need to make sure we update image URL, image URL equals URL prompt. There. We'll probably have to do some validation at some point too. Cool. So now if I provide this image here, it should display it on here. A puppy sitting in, oh my, that's way too big. How do I make this smaller? Let's just say like the max I want it to be is 50. How about there? What happened? It stopped building. This is 300 by 300, so something happened here. The project stopped running. I think it's, is it this line 27? Caption from analysis. Is it this? Is this thing we just added? what happened? I feel like image URL equals URL or prompt. Turn keys in. Oh, there's an address already in use? What's going on here? All right, hold on. Let's kill all these ports here. All right, try it again. Waiting for file. What? All right, change the port then. It's like failing here. Oh, do I have to restart the thingy? Okay, I guess so. Restart the port. Open up code again. I guess this is the one cool thing about like working with like the latest and greatest technologies. You always encounter bugs and you can give feedback so they can improve. People can improve projects and stuff like that, which I think is pretty important. The only issue with this is that we set environment variables, so now I gotta set them again. Terminal. What environment variables did I set? Oh, it's like export. I wonder if it'll remember. It did export. Cool. All right, it did remember. All right. We're gonna have to wipe that history out after all this as well. .NET Watch. Let's see if it works now. Or do I have to close the entire container? Like shut down Docker? That would suck. Oh, it looked like it worked. We wanted to change the size of this though, with 300 max height. 300. Okay, cool. So puppy image, because it was way too big. Analyze. We did it.
All right, and finally, the last part of this video, we're going to implement image generation. Again, interacting with SDKs, a couple of CLI commands there as well. And it's a shorter, more easier thing to get through. So we're almost there. Let's get through it.
All right, cool. So now we want to generate an image. A puppy sitting in the grass. We want to generate an image. Add generation. We're going to need Azure OpenAI. Servers research. I already have one of these. So I'm just going to go into my portal and get my values that I need for this. Because you kind of got a taste for what it looks like to use the CLI to create stuff in Azure. I mean, from the CLI. Yeah, to create stuff in Azure. So I'm just going to say export OpenAI. So OpenAI endpoint. And then export OpenAI key. All right, got everything we need there. All righty. Create a new thingy. You get your, please create OpenAI, add the code. We need image generation. Add the code to call the Azure OpenAI Server API to React as generate image. Okay. Let's go to here, and then we need the .NET image generation. Image generation. Could probably search for it. Image generation. Generate image generation. But there's no example. Oh, okay. .NET Azure OpenAI generate image. Azure OpenAI, that's a client. I need an example. This might work. This might be exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, I need to add a package because I don't have this one. Lovely. All right, so now we're gonna work with the generate image. And again, look at me, just copy paste, baby. All right. So let's take a look at the code that we've copied here. Oh, hold on. I forgot which packages do we need to use. We're going to copy these packages and then paste them here. On at using, render mode interactive. All right. So I copy a lot of code and paste it in and read it, and I use Copilot to kind of step through it if I don't understand it, and then I kind of work my way through that. So that's what we're gonna do now. Again, love Copilot, right? So we're gonna Control J, remove the terminal, and kind of just work through this, right? String, get environment variable. Why is this an issue here? Yes, it does. I'm literally using it up here. Get environment. Oh, hold on. Environment dot get environment variable. All right, environment dot get environment variable. OpenAI key. Azure. I just put OpenAI, so it needs to make sure these match the variables that I created in the terminal. What's going on here? The await operator can only be used with an async method. Consider making this await public void. Async. Oh no, it's got to be async void. Then wow, everything else works. Huh. A happy monkey eating a banana. Okay, so that's like that's a prompt that they're providing, and then it gives us it generates a image URL. So I'm assuming it just like uploads to like Blob Storage or something. .NET watch. So let's run this. When we click the generate image button, it should generate an image based off this hard-coded prompt we have here, and give us a URL of the image generated into the terminal. So let's take a look. And I generate image, and let's see. I don't see anything happening. F12. Oh no, it does happen. It did. Lovely. Let's control click this, open. And that is indeed a happy monkey eating a banana. It looks weird, but it works. All right, cool. So let's make this not be this hard-coded thing, but the variable for a URL and prompt. And image size 256 is completely fine. And then this gives us a URI image. So we can also set the image URL here. So we can say image URL equals image URI. Oh, do we need a string? .toString, I guess. Yes, makes sense. Okay, cool. So now when I go here to my project here, close this here, retry. What? This is laid out terribly. All right. What happened? Method toString. Where is it? Control. Open this up. All right. A cat in a top hat. Generate image. Did it work? Let's go. I can't tell if it worked, so it is here, but it's not setting it to. I mean, if I click this, open. That's a cat in a top hat, but it's not setting my image URL, image to analyze. It's not setting image here. image URL equals image URI to string. Maybe it... What is going on? Why won't this... Maybe it's because it's converting it to a string. If I just keep that to be a URI and then don't set this to be string, maybe that will work. We can say new URI from this string here. Okay. Boom, 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 boom. Your image URL equals URL.prompt equals new URI, new URI from this. Oh, nope, nope. Boom. Here. All right. Let's see. No, we're going to have another ports issue. I swear. Because we had too many issues. All right. Done it. Watch. I swear, this better not show me a port issue. Okay, cool. A cat in a top hat. Generate image. It's not setting it. It's opening up. Now it's a weird looking cat. But it's doing it. It's just not setting this. Why is it not setting it? Image URL. And do I have to bind it? No, because it was working before. Private images, go here, open, and is it because this is not an image? Wait, let's see what the instruction says. Or prompt to do generate image. Simpsons. URL, image URL, which is what we're setting here in image URL. Let's see if I can ask Copilot. Wait, so what happens if, you know what? What happens if I just copy this and then paste it in directly here? Will it load? Does it load the image? Yeah, so it does load the image. All right, so the URL is fine. I guess it's just not updating it correctly. Image URL. Do I not need to add there? Image to analyze. No, we do need to add there. Because without it, it doesn't work. Image URL. Wait, it worked now. Okay, a rabbit wearing a bow tie. Generate image. Yeah, it's not updating. Let's see. How can I update the image URL here so when my generate image function generates an image and a URL, it displays in this image component. Let's see if it has an answer. We're so close. SRC. I mean, I'm already doing this. Generate image URL. Am I setting it in the wrong place? Print the image URL to console. Image URL. It's not updating in the UI. What? I have to put state has changed. I doubt that's the issue. I have no idea what's going on here. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's like forcing it, I guess. Hold on. A cat with a mustache. Mustache. Generate image. Oh, works. All right, cool.
Project done. Congratulations. You probably spent a couple of hours working on this project. And at this point, make sure to commit all your code and push it all to GitHub, and then send me your GitHub repo link in the comments so I can provide any feedback. More importantly, what do you want to see in the next video? We're going to refactor this code to have better best practices, perform better, and we're going to put it into an API and either make it into a serverless function or to containers. Let me know which one you want to use, all right? But only the people who provide me a GitHub link in the comments are the ones that I'm going to take into consider their opinion, because you're the ones who actually worked through it. So yeah, anyway, congrats on completing this. This is a version 0 of this project, and we're going to continue building and building and building onto it, and you're going to learn a lot more cloud things as we go. And I will see you in the next video.